Hello, everyone. So, today, let us continue our discussion on occupational safety and health. Okay, so I have prepared here short slides for our topic today, 8 slides only. Okay, so here's the outline of our presentation. We'll study the electrical safety in computer engineering. Let us understand electrical hazards. What are the safe practices in handling electrical equipment? What are the electrical safety standards and regulations, the training and education that we need, risk assessment and mitigation, PPEs, and emergency procedure and response. Okay, so let us now understand what electrical hazard is. Ano ba itong electrical hazards? So basically, these electrical hazards refer to potential dangers posed by the presence of electricity in various settings. Okay? Kasama na rito yung sa ating mga computer engineers. These hazards can lead to electric shock, no? Fires, explosions, and other serious injuries or fatalities. Again, no? These are potential dangers posed by the presence of electricity in various settings. Okay, so that's electrical hazards. And what are the common types of electrical hazards, especially in computer engineering environment? We have here the electric shock, arc flash, electrical fires, overloads and short circuits, and high voltage. When we say electric shock, no? Ano ba ito? So ito naman, it occurs when the body becomes part of an electrical circuit, typically due to direct contact with energized equipment or faulty wiring. Yung makukuryente ka. Yung akala mo dumaan sa kuryente. To be honest, dumaan talaga sa kuryente kaya ka na-shock. No, nag-ground ka. So that's electric shock. Next one is arc flash, a sudden release of electrical energy that creates an intense explosion, heat, and light, often caused by short circuits or equipment failures. Ito yung biglang mag-short yung pag flash. For example, biglang may tumalsik. Yan. So that's arc flash. Mayroon kang nilagay na device or equipment or a part ng computer or motherboard for example, biglang nag-spark. Okay? That is arc flash. The third one is electrical fires. No? This is the result from overheating, no, or electrical faults and can spread rapidly, causing property damage, injuries, or loss of life. So, yan yung mga electrical fires na for example ay nag-start sa computer. Hanggang sa umapoy yung computer mo, hindi mo nalaman. For example, AFK ka, nagkaroon ng spark sa loob, nag-overheat, gumapang ngayon yung sunog sa electrical wires mo. So, doon nag-start yung electrical fires. Okay? The fourth one is overload and short circuits. Excessive currents or faults in electrical circuits can lead to equipment damage, electrical fires, and disruption of operations. Ito naman is yung overloaded na yung inyong mga extensions, no? Biglang mag-spark, then gagapang ulit, mag-short yung circuit mo, may na-loose na wiring, no? Nag-short yung circuit niya. So that's overload and short circuit, no? Last one is high voltage. Exposure to high voltage can cause severe burns, tissue damage, cardiac arrest, or electrocution, especially in uncontrolled or unsafe environments. Usually dito ang karaniwan yung mga electricians. Nakahawak sila sa high voltage, 220 volts. No? Electricians, electrical engineers na na-expose sa ganitong high voltage wires. Okay? So these are the common types of electrical hazards in computer engineering. No? Electric shock, arc flash, electrical fires, overloads and short circuits, and high voltage. So ano ba ang potential risk na meron dito? So sa electric shock, siyempre pag nakuryente ka o nag-shock ka, pwede kang masunog. No? It can cause muscle spasms, burns, respiratory paralysis, or even death. No? It depends on the severity kung gaano kalala yung shock na naramdaman mo, no, during the exposure. Okay? The second one, yung spark or yung arc flash, it releases intense heat and pressure, resulting in severe burns, shrapnel injuries, and vision impairment for nearby personnel. Baka kasi nung nag-spark, may tumalsik na nag-spark, di ba? Pwedeng tawag dito, yung mata mo magka-problema, sobrang liwanag. And also, may tumalsik na mga bagay, tamaan yung katawan mo, yung mata mo, di ba? So that's the potential risk with that arc flash. Yung electrical fires naman, it can ignite flammable materials. It could also release toxic gases and destroy equipment, facilities, and surrounding property. So ito nga, like what I've told you before, gumagabang kasi ito and it ignite flammable materials. And yung usok niya, di ba? Nire-release siya ng toxic gases pagka yung mga electrical wires ay nasusunog. And overloading naman and short circuit, it can damage electrical equipment and disrupt operations and create hazardous conditions for nearby personnel. And the last one is high voltage naman. It could lead to severe injuries or fatalities requiring immediate medical attention and emergency response. Let's now talk about the safety practices in handling electrical equipment. So we have here some guidelines for safe handling of electrical equipment. Number one is we should always inspect equipment for damage or defects before use. So kung magre-repair tayo ng mga computers or any computer engineering related equipment, check muna natin yung device or equipment. Baka naman kasi meron ng damage ito bago mo gamitin or bago mo i-repair, di ba? Tapos bigla mong sinaksak, biglang may nag-spark, no? So you have to inspect always the equipment kung meron kagad bang problema, no? Second one is ensure that equipment is de-energized before performing any maintenance or repairs. So dito, make sure na hindi naka-connect sa outlet yung inyong ginagawang equipment. Baka naman magre-repair ka ng motherboard, magre-repair ka ng PC, naka-on pa AVR, nakasaksak pa yung power cable niya. 'Di ba? Baka makuryente ka naman. So make sure na naka-de-energize siya, naka-off yung AVR, naka-off yung power supply niya, nakaalis siya sa tawag dito, saksakan. Okay? Use insulated tools and wear PPEs when working with live circuits. So, paminsan-minsan, pwede ka naman gumamit ng gloves, no? Pwede ka rin gumamit ng, ang tawag dito, goggles, no? Not Google, goggles. Or salamin, yung okay naman na salamin. And PPE, for example, gloves, no? Bago ka pipindot-pindot dyan sa nire-repair mo or ginagawa mo, no? So the fourth one is avoid overloading circuits and outlets. And make sure to adhere to manufacturer's specifications and electrical codes. So kaya nga tayo may AVR, no? Huwag tayo nag-overload ng ano ng mga PC, ng mga materials natin, no? Kung may gagamit tayo ng AVR extensions, make sure na heavy duty, no? Para ma-avoid tayo, maiwasan natin yung overloading ng circuits. Third one, the last one is properly label and maintain electrical equipment to ensure clear identification and safe operation. Ito naman, if you're working with large number of cables, large number of wires, especially in networking, no? Dapat may label pa rin tayo yung mga cables natin. Na para alam natin kung ano yung pino-pull out natin, alam natin kung anong mga devices yung naka-load for example, sa networks, sa servers natin, no? We have to make sure that everything is properly labeled. Okay? So those are the guidelines for safe handling of electrical equipment. Next one would be the importance of proper insulation and grounding. Bakit ba kailangan natin ng insulation at the same time ng grounding? Okay? So basically, yung tinatawag nating proper insulation and grounding, no? It is crucial because it prevents electrical shocks and fires. Pagka wala kang grounding, wala kang proper insulation, pwedeng masunog kaagad lahat ng mga equipment mo. So proper insulation, it prevents current leakage and protects against accidental contact with live parts. For example, sa mga electrical cables natin, no? Minsan gumagamit tayo ng electrical tape para para okay yung insulations niya, walang nakausling mga copper wires, 'di ba? Also have here the grounding. So when we say grounding, it provides a low resistance path for fault currents to dissipate, reducing the risk of electric shock and equipment damage. Last one would be the effective insulation and grounding ensure that electrical safety is by minimizing the potential for electrical hazards, ensuring the safe operation of equipment. So those are the importance of proper insulation and grounding. No? Last one would be the what are the procedures that for safe installation and maintenance of electrical components. So unang-una, kung ano yung inuutos ng manufacturer, yun ang sundin natin. Okay? You have to follow the manufacturer's instructions and industry standards especially, no? For the installation of electrical components. That's the first one. The second one would be the ensure that electrical components are installed in accordance with building codes and regulations. Okay. Third one is perform regular inspections and maintenance to identify and address potential hazards or defects. Fourth one, keep electrical components clean, dry, and free from obstructions to maintain safe operation. And last one is establish a schedule for routine maintenance and testing to ensure the continued reliability and safety of electrical systems. Okay. So those are the safe practices in handling electrical equipment. Let us now continue, or let us now proceed with the next slide, slide 5 of 8, the electrical safety standards and regulations. So ano ba itong electrical safety standards and regulations na to? So these electrical safety standards are applicable naman sa ating as computer engineers, no? So number one is ano ba itong overview pala? Let us now understand what is electrical safety standards. So these are the guidelines and requirements for the safe design, installation, operation, and maintenance of electrical systems and equipment. So itong standards na to and regulation, these are the guidelines for safe installation, safe operation, and maintenance of electrical equipment. No? These standards and regulations ensure compliance with industry best practices and legal requirements to protect personnel, protect property, and protect the environment from electrical hazards. So we have guidelines, ano? Depende kung aling agency ang ating susundin, kung aling international committee organization ang susundan natin ng regulations or guidelines, no? We have here some examples of relevant standards, no? Internationally known standards. We have the IEEE, the ANSI, and NFPA. When you see IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, no? These standards cover various aspects of electrical engineering, including safety and design and testing. Okay, IEEE. The next one is ANSI, American National Standards Institute. These develop consensus-based standards for a wide range of industries, including electrical safety and performance. NFPA naman, or National Fire Protection Association, publishes codes and standards related to fire safety, electrical systems, and building construction to mitigate the risk of electrical fires and hazards. Okay, so those are the three examples of relevant standards: IEEE, ANSI, and NFPA. So bakit ba meron tayong compliance? No? Ano ba ang implications nito sa mga organizations? So, compliance with electrical safety standards and regulation is mandatory. Okay, mandatory, and professionals for professionals and organizations, that are involved in the design, installation, and operation of electrical systems and equipment. Okay, kaya nga 'di ba meron tayong mga electrical engineers, professional electrical engineers. They are signing, no, electrical plans kasi compliance 'yun. Those are parts of electrical safety standards and regulations. They are also involved in the design of electrical cabling sa mga bahay, sa mga businesses, no? They have to comply with it. Okay? Failure to comply with these requirements can result in legal penalties, fines, civil liability, and reputational damage. Of course naman, for example, hindi ka nga pumirma, hindi ka nga electrical engineer ka, hindi ka pumirma sa plano. So fault mo 'yun. You have to face legal penalties, fines, and possibility of civil liability. And especially yung reputation mo as an electrical engineer is become a problema, 'di ba? And adhering to electrical safety standards and regulations ensure the protection of personnel, property, and the environment, as well as the overall integrity and reliability of electrical systems. So, meron kasi tayong mga sinusunod na regulations and guidelines, no? Na kung saan it protects the personnel, kung sino man yung electrician na mag-wire ng cables mo. It could also protect property, kung okay naman at nasa standard yung cabling design mo, yung electrical wirings mo. Siyempre, mapoprotektahan mo yung property na paglalagyan mo ng electric wires, di ba? And the environment kasi, pag naiwasan mo yung faulty wiring, maiwasan mo yung sunog na magkukos ng toxic gases and fires sa mga nearby houses, if there's any. Okay? So, yun ang implications when it comes to compliance of requirements sa electrical safety standards and regulations. So, safety training and education. So, ano bang importance ng electrical safety training sa ating mga computer engineers or sa ating mga computer engineering professionals? Unang-una, electrical safety training is essential for ensuring that CPEs understand the hazards associated with electrical systems and equipment and know how to work safely. So, kailangan natin aralin itong electrical safety na to para maintindihan natin ano bang hazards na pwede nating makuha sa pagpa-perform natin ng ating profession. Okay? So, sa ating naunang mga slides, di ba? Meron tayong high voltage, arc flash, di ba? Overload. So, those are the things that we have to understand, no? That the hazards associated with computer engineering and how we could work safely. Okay, and also training helps professionals identify potential electrical hazards, implement appropriate safety measures, and respond to emergencies, introducing the risk of accidents, injuries, and fatalities. So that's the importance of electrical safety training. Alam natin kung paano identify ng mga electrical hazards. So makita natin for example yung AVR or yung extension is loaded na ng mga uh, electrical wires, no? Extensions. Alam natin, ano yun, hazard yun, baka biglang pumutok kasi overload na siya unless it's a heavy duty extension, di ba? Also, we have to, implement appropriate safety measures. Magamit tayo ng duct tape pagka meron tayong mga maraming cables na nakalaylay dyan sa flooring, di ba? At the same time, we can also respond effectively to emergencies, reducing the risk of accidents, injuries, and fatalities. So that's the importance of electrical safety training. The next one is ano ba ang mga covered na topic in electrical safety training? So basically, the fundamentals of electricity and electrical hazards, safe work practices and procedures for handling electrical equipment, recognition and mitigation of electrical hazards in the workplace, emergency response, and compliance with electrical safety standards and regulations. So these are some of the topics that we have to train with, no? Yung electrical safety training programs, yung fundamentals ng electricity, electrical hazards, and safe work practices. We also have the recognition and mitigation of electrical hazards, emergency response, and compliance with electrical safety standards and regulations. So, ano bang mga strategies na pwede natin gawin in promoting a culture of electrical safety? Yung bang meron tayong awareness about electrical safety. Unang-una, we have to provide regular training and education on electrical safety practices and procedures. Okay? Hindi naman sinabing araw-araw, but meron siguro tayong seasonal na training on electrical safety awareness. Especially now, this month, meron tayong Fire Prevention Month. It could be part of the training ng electrical safety awareness kasi usually sa electrical wires yun ang nagko-cause ng fire, especially this March, no? Fire Prevention Month, yung overheating, uh, overloaded na cables, so that could be pwede nating isabay, di ba? Yung regular training and education about electrical safety. The next one is encourage open communication and collaboration between management, employees, and safety professionals. So, kung wala tayong available expert when it comes to electrical safety standards, electrical safety, pwede tayong mag-top. Sabi natin sa management, ma'am sir, baka pwede tayong mag-conduct ng safety hazard, electrical safety awareness training or seminar, workshop para maging aware po ang ating mga employee about the electrical hazards. Pwede naman natin kausapin yung ating mga boss sa mga ganun di ba? Implement safety incentives, recognition programs, and rewards for adherence to electrical safety protocols. So for example, magkakaroon tayo ng clear inspection and makita natin na talagang okay naman yung cabling, yung electrical wires, no? And nag-adhere naman yung isang company or isang office sa electrical safety protocols. Why not give them incentives and rewards, di ba? Para ganahan naman silang sumunod sa mga protocols natin, especially when it comes to electrical hazard safety or electrical safety hazards. Okay? And foster a proactive approach to safety by empowering employees to report hazards and near misses and participate in safety improvement initiatives. So those are the strategies for promoting a culture of electrical awareness. So let's study what is PPE or personal protective equipment. So PPE usually it is designed to protect individuals from electrical hazards by providing a barrier between the wearer, between you, and the electrical source. So usually, pag nagsuot ka ng PPE, mga goma to, no? It is designed from electrical to protect individuals from electrical hazards. Kung mapapansin ninyo, yung mga electrical engineers natin, electrical master technician, electricians, pag nag-repair sila ng cable, ng linya ng kuryente, di ba? Meron silang mga safety wears or PPEs, should I say. Makakapal na gloves, naka-helmet, helmet tawag dito. Ano tawag sa kanilang helmet? Yung kulay yellow, di ba? And also, we have the sa damit nila, meron silang makakapal na damit. Boots, di ba? So those are considered as PPEs. For example, yung mga insulated gloves, di ba? Safety goggles, protective clothing, and head protection. No? The proper selection, use, and maintenance of PPEs are essential for maximizing protection and minimizing the risk of electrical injuries. Kaya nga, no? Yung classmate ko before sa masteral, yung mga electrical engineers, every 2 years yata sila bumibili ng PPE. Para, yun nga, Mahirap kasi na ginagamit mong mga PPEs, especially pagka ikaw ay lineman, may problema. For example, butas, sira, manipis, numinipis, di ba? Puwede kang makuryente kasi do'n. So, sabi nila sa akin, every 2 years boss, bumibili kami ng aming PPEs. At the same time, kung may mga request na bago, bumibili naman din daw sila. So, yun ang PPE na ginagamit, no? Ano ba 'tong examples ng PPE? Ito nga, no? We have here the insulated gloves. We also have here safety goggles and non-conductive footwear. When we say insulated gloves, ito yung medyo makakapal na mga gloves, no? It protects against electric shock and burns when working with live circuits or exposed electrical conductors. The next one is safety goggles to protect the eyes from sparks, debris, and electrical arcs during electrical work. No? Yung mga spark, yung mga debris na tumatalsik, kaya kailangan natin ng safety goggles. And the non-conductive footwear, kapag may dumali na kuryente sa'yo at meron ka nito, puproceed lang yung kuryente sa ground kasi meron kang non-conductive footwear. No? Nagbibigay siya ng barrier between the feet and the ground. Okay? Last one is the proper usage and maintenance of PPE to enhance safety. So, paano ba ang mag-maintain ng PPE, especially for electrical engineers or lineman or those professions that are into electrical hazards? Okay? Siyempre, inspect PPE before each use for signs of damage, wear, or defects. Check mo. Yung mga gloves mo, baka naman may butas na yan. Diba? Kung gamit na gamit na, kung manipis na, baka magka-problema ka pag humawak ka ng live wire, di ba? Kung ano ba ang we also have to follow manufacturer's instruction for proper donning and doffing of PPE. Kung paano ba ang tamang pagsusuot, paglalagay ng mga PPEs. Also, we have to store PPE in a clean, dry location away from sunlight, chemicals, and other hazards. Baka kasi pag binilad mo yan, magkaroon ng problema, lumipis, or lumutong, di ba? Ilalayo mo rin syempre sa iba't ibang chemicals yan, sa mga acids, baka bigla naman malusaw yan, di ba? Hindi natin alam eh. So, we have to store our PPEs in a clean, dry location. Replace damaged or worn out PPE promptly to ensure continued protection. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina na pagka medyo hindi na ganun kagandahan yung PPE mo, palitan mo na. No? Baka ikaw din ang mapalitan yan pagka nagka-problema ka, di ba, nakuryente ka. So, we have to replace damaged or worn out PPE. And lastly is we have to train personnel on the proper use, care, and maintenance of PPE to enhance safety and effectiveness. Emergency procedures and response. This will be our last slide. No? We have here three components. First one is developing emergency procedures for electrical incidents. So, sa emergency response naman, we have to develop procedures when it comes to electrical incidents. No? We have to establish clear procedures for responding to electrical incidents, including electrical shocks, electrical fires, and equipment failures. So, meron dapat tayong mga preventive measures or rescue measures when it comes to electrical shocks. No? Yes, you have to define roles and responsibilities for personnel involved in emergency response efforts. So, yung mga rescuers natin, they have to be knowledgeable when it comes to electrical hazards, especially in emergency response efforts. Iba kasi yung rescue na ginagawa sa mga na-aksidente. Iba yung rescue na nangyari sa mga flood. Iba rin syempre sa electrical hazards. No, baka may nakasabit na something or nag-clearing ka ng mga puno. Tapos yung nagki-clearing nadampian yung live wire. Paano mo re-rescuehin yun, di ba? Sabi nga ng mga classmate ko nung masteral, everything must be considered as live. Yan. So pagka you're working into circuits, i-consider mo palagi yung cable is live, yung wire is live. Para isipin mo, baka live wire to. I have to wear PPEs. Tawagan ko muna yung electric co-op na pakipatay nga po muna itong Itong transmission na ganito, transmission line na ganito. Pakipatay muna yung ganitong substation, di ba? So ensure that emergency procedures are communicated to all employees and regularly reviewed and updated as needed. Next one would be training personnel on emergency response protocols. No? Siguro ang involved na trainers dito is yung rescue natin, DRRM, no? Or yung electric co-op themselves. No? They must provide comprehensive training on emergency response protocols, including first aid, CPR, and use of fire extinguishers. Conduct regular drills and simulations to practice emergency response procedures and enhance preparedness. Ensure that personnel are familiar, no, with emergency exits, evacuation routes, and assembly points in case of electrical emergencies. So I think this one must be uh, considered ng ating mga DRRMs, no? Yung mga training na ganito. Kasi usually ang nakikita natin, yung training nila is earthquake, 'di ba? Sa CPR, sa accident, usually na mga training nila eh, no? Sabihin man natin na bihira yung merong accident sa electrical field, no? But dapat pa natin consider na yung mga ganitong scenario when it comes to response, no? And establishing communication channels and evacuation plans in case of electrical emergencies, no? Kapag ka nagkaroon ng malawakang blackout, alam dapat natin kung saan tayo silong, di ba? Yung mga evacuation areas natin, for example, sa mga barangay halls natin, dito ka sa Palayan City, the DRRM provided generator sa mga barangay, no? And the ICT is planning to provide Starlinks sa mga barangay during emergencies, no? Para meron silang signal, meron silang kuryente yung mga barangay, no? Implement communication protocols for notifying personnel of electrical emergencies and coordinating response efforts. Establish evacuation plans and procedures for safely evacuating personnel from areas affected by electrical hazards. Designate assembly points and emergency contact numbers for reporting incidents and summoning assistance. So those are the emergency procedures and response that we have to consider, no, sa electrical safety and hazards. So that ends our presentation for today. Thank you very much for listening.